columns, log, data frame, log, ilogs, nulls, describe, value underscore counts, so on. So these are also some of the important comments which we discussed in the morning session. Then we started with isNull, isNull.sum. These are the comments which are used to read a data in a data frame and do some reprocessing. isNull.sum. Then there is something called in place. You have to keep in mind in place to be true. What it means, it will alter permanently the data in a data set. Right. So we'll continue our discussion on data pre-processing. Before tea break, I asked you to create one data frame. Those who are joined bit late, right? We created a data frame like this. Then we tried to find if there is any null values are there. Now I am going to explain how to remove those null values, right? So if you look into this data frame, there are 3 null values. I hope this is for those. Can you please use the same notebook which you have used before leaving for break, right? You have this kind of thing. There are 2 NaN. What are the possible ways we can remove? For example, if you have 1,000 rows, or not 1,000, in a million row in a data set, you can drop. If you have a 10,000 NaN, you can drop that rows. But the problem is, here we have only few things. But dropping the row may not be a feasible or optimal solution, right? We need to fill the null values with some values, either by using a mean or median or the thing which occurs most frequently to be updated, or 0 may be filled those cells, right? So then there may be a question. So what is the question is, sir, how can we identify whether we need to drop the values or whether we need to replace with so and so, right? Whenever you are doing any machine learning project, right, first thing, the result, not the first thing, the last thing, when you are doing any result analysis, you are going to compare the results, right? One of the basic comparison you need to do it is, if you fill the data with mean, median, what should be the accuracy with respect to the specific model? That is one kind of a simple projects you can give it to the BTech students, right? NaN or null, we'll see how we are removing. There are a number of approaches. The first thing is, can you please apply drop NA? Can you please use a method drop NA? What it will do, whenever it finds any not a number in a particular row, that row is being dropped. Can you please check it out and post an output? What is a drop NA? Because some of the people are following up. Some of the people are using their laptop. They are trying out. Right. So I hope Senthil Kumar sir found there are 2 rows being deleted, but not permanently. The reason is we are not given, yes, Prem Kumar sir, we are not given any in place equal to true. Don't give in place equal to true, that you can test it out later, or else the flow may be missed. Right. Next is drop NA access equal to 1. Can you please try it out and understand? Data frame is a DF is a data frame object. Drop NA access equal to 1. Drop NA access equal to 1. Can you please check what is an output you are getting? It removes, right, good sir, it removes the column, right? It removes the columns which has the NA, right? So this is the simplest method. So whenever if they ask, can you please do any data pre-processing? First step, you need to read the data. Then you need to apply the method which is called describe method. Once you apply the describe method, you are able to find out somehow something which is missing. After you are done with the describe, then you please go with isNull sum. Then you can remove the columns and rows by using a drop NA. There are other ways to do it out. We'll see how we are going to do it in other ways. This is just a simple example because I already covered pandas. This is for creating a new row. I am just creating a new row, right? So the new row which contains a NP. NP is an object for NumPy package. If you're not created, can you please import how to create that object is for all kind of number representation, number matrix, everything is done by create an object, import NumPy NP np.nan. I created. Now we are. This is for just explaining you people. We created one new row. Then that row is been appended into a data frame. There we discussed how to do rename. We done renaming the few columns. Here we are trying to add a row into the data frame. How to add it? The same data frame df.append. The same data frame df.append the new row which I created with 4 column, which is nan. Now you see, if you put all no like this, right? So once now we have 4 rows in the table. Now can you please check? I want to delete all the rows which contains nan. It will delete only. It will drop all the rows where all columns are nan. Only it dropped rows where all the columns are been nan. So once you insert it, you may get this kind of a data frame. You may get this kind of a data frame what is shown in the screen. All right, 3. Now if you apply df.drop in a all, what this will do is, this will, now you see the third is being removed, which means true to be present in all the things. Now there is something called drop in a, which will take thresh. What is the thresh? Is threshold. And someone try it out, thresh 4 and display the result. We'll see what is an output we are getting. Can you please check it out? Prem Kumar sir and Sindel Kumar sir, can you please check it out? What the df.drop and a threshold, right? So what may be the observation, sir? It will drop the rows that do not have at least 4 non-nan values, right? 4 non-nan value to be there, or else it may get dropped. Fine, sir. Fine. Next, only we are going to drop NA, which is appear in a specific column. Can you please check this? df dot drop NA subset of C. What it will do? It will remove. It will drop the rows where NaN appears in specific column. Only drop the rows where NaN appears in a specific column. So good, sir. Prem Kumar sir, it drops the rows where C contains NaN, where the C contains NaN as per this example. Right. Next is that's it, right? So this is df. Now we identified. Now we are all comfort how to identify the missing values. Most probably all the missing values to be in NaN format. If not, you have to create a list. The list to be iterated. If those values are there, that also to be filled with some value. Right, sir. Instead of dropping, is it possible to fill with some values? For example, we have 58 participants as of now. I am trying to collect. I am performing a data collection operation. Right. What happened is, after collecting, there are only few people. They are given their age. For example, out of 58, there are 55 people. They are given an age. From that age, I am able to understood our age ranges from 30 to 40. So there may be a possibility the other three people, they may belong to in between those range. That can be filled either by using a mean or median or mode. Right, you all know what is called mean, median and mode. So that will be filled with the, we'll see how we are going to fill it out. You understand what I am trying to say? I am going to explain how we are going to fill the missing values. Right. This is one simple example. Right? So what is there in that example is, first we are going to import another package which is called simple imputer. What that simple imputer will do is will take two argument. Right, so I will give another one idea in Google Colab. Once you done, you just double click or click the simple imputer. It may give the suggestion. You just type control and keep the mouse over the simple imputer. Whatever I am showing in the screen, you are able to see. Simple imputer, missing value, strategy. The strategy should be either a mean, they are given either a mean or most frequent or constant. That to be filled. We'll see what is an output. All right. Can you please tell what is an output we are getting? Simple imputer. Safe is positive. So I am trying to drop the third. This is another code. Good sir. So you are getting an answer as 1502. So what is the observation I can understood? It's been filled with mean, right? What is a mean? Mean is an average. Can you please look into the last column? 8 plus 4, 12. There are two numeric number because other two are NaN. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 divided by 2, 6. The 6 are being filled in that particular column. Similarly, 13, sorry, 12 plus 3, 15. 15 divided by 2, 7.5, 7.5. So similar way this is being filled. Good sir. So this all depends on how you are going to approach it. No sir. We'll see there is something called categorical data. There you can't use mean and median. We are going to use the which one occurs most number of times. Right. Next is this the read we already discussed. Right there. This is another one. I am going to share another file. Can you please make use of that file? That will help you to do some kind of an exercise. I'm going to upload another file. 2 minutes. I'm going to share that file also. MBA. There is other way to fill it out. Going to share this file. Going to share link. Anyone in the link can edit. Copy the link. Done. So can you please download that CSV file? Download the CSV file and keep it in any folder. Use this colab.org method which we discussed in the morning to read that NBA file, to read that NBA.csv file. Once you read, you need to use this import IO read.csv print data frame.nba. Can you please read that file? Once you run the files.upload, it will ask choose files. Can you please go to the specific folder where the file is there, then upload. Once it's uploaded, it shows it's 100% done. Then you can use import IO bytes of IO upload. Then you just check it out whether you have those data. Right. So what is the reason I'm asking you to do it is, can you please check it out, this set of code. What is happening is whether you people read that nba.csv file. The first question, whether you have read that nba.csv file. Yes or no? Are you able to read the file successfully? Not shared my screen. No one is told to me, sir, you are not shared your screen. Okay, fine. So this now you can see. Now you can. I hope once you read this file in college we are getting NaN. Are you able to see in college where you are getting NaN? Right now, what we try to do it is there is something called bfill. In fill Na. If you move the mouse across, you are able to find fill Na. There is a method called backward fill, bfill. What is there in background? LSU, that to be filled in these two rows. Right. So once you done this, the LSU can be backfilled in those two rows. Where this can be used, you have to think it up, sir. Whatever code I am sharing, it may work it out. Where these things can be used, for example, uh, upload widget unable to when please return this. What is this? This looks, sir. Can it is? It's, once again, I am also just. This is a
Sir,
new issue.
sir, excuse me, sir. I have downloaded the CSV file and I kept in a folder. When I
Okay, sir.
upload the, when I write the code, the error is coming like this.
Sir, what they are saying is, sir, this is new type of error. I just Google it. So what they are putting is, it sounds like third-party cookies may be disabled in your browser.
Oh,
Sir,
okay.
go to the. I'm
Yes, sir.
just.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have found, sir.
Thank.
5 third-party cookies are
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
blocked. I will enable. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank
Allow
you. Thank you.
cookies. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Right. What we have done. Right. So what this backward fill did is LSU, where this can be used. For example, assuming that there are one colony which we are entering, there are 200 houses. Right. In that house, for few people, I entered the street and city. For few of them, I may miss. Definitely, those cluster of people may be in the same city and the place. So that to be filled easily by using this forward fill. Similarly, we have a backward fill and then on. I am posting other two comments. I am posting other two comments to explain it. The forward fill, which is taken from the previous record. Or else there is another option which is called limit. What is the purpose of the limit is how many number of rows from that particular cell. For example, I am taking the value from cell X plus 1 to be filled, X plus 2 to be filled, X plus 3 to be filled, that to be restricted by give limit equal to 1, 2, 3 or n. What is the purpose of in place? I am repeatedly telling the in place is used to permanently change the data into the data set. Right. Now, as of now, what we discussed is a numerical data which is in the form of either discrete or continuous. Right. Now, we have another set of data which is called categorical data. Right. So give an example of, if I can say example of a categorical data, we can say if you go for any store, dress, we can see small, medium, large, extra large, double XL. These are all called categorical data. The data are being grouped according to some properties or features. Right. So now I am asking you guys to create a new categorical data. We are going to create a categorical data which contains 1, 2, 3, 3 rows. Those who are missed as of now, don't get worried. Just to open a Colab, right? Then create on data frame the code which I posted over there. Can you please run that code? You may get the 3 rows with 4 columns, assuming that color, size, price, and the label. Right. Once we done this, it doesn't have any column. It doesn't have any columns. It may blank. It will give send us a number format. So I need to set the columns. This we are not studied. Yes, sir, Senthil Kumar sir. We are not studied. Now I am giving another example how to add a columns. Good sir. Can you please check it out to run set the columns which we are setting color, size, price, and the class label. Right. So you just copy paste. You instead of Palani Mani sir, instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, now we are changing the name as a color, size, price, and class label. I hope you are able to get that. Like, right. So now is it fine? Right. Some of them are changed. Good sir. 1, 2, 3. Fine. Now as I said earlier, all the machine learning model will take only data in the form of numeric, right? If it is in a numeric, then we have to do some kind of changes, right? What we can do is, there are n number of ways to do it. Is first we will start with a simple approach. What is the simple approach is, you can consider the size. What is the size which is given? Medium, large, extra large. The size is given. For example, if you take all 65 people who are present in this, there may be a different size. That to be filled with some numeric value. If you filled with a numeric value, then things have been solved. How can we fill it is? How can we fill it is? We have to create one map database. Can you please see? Excel is been mapped with 3, L is been mapped with 2, M is been mapped with 1. Now I am changing the size with respect to size mapping. What will happen is, it will convert the medium, large, extra large into 3, 2, 1. Good, sir. Prem Kumar, sir, good. 1, 2, 3, size, perfect. Similarly, right, good. Similarly, all right, similarly, we can change it to green, red, blue, class 1, class 2, class 1 labels and all. Right. What may be the problem here? Can anyone tell what may be the problem? I hope you people are following. My question is very simple. What is the question is, if you are grouping a people into, for example, t-shirt size. T-shirt size is small, medium, large, extra large, double XL, so and so.
It
For
is the
example,
label, sir. It is the label.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. What is the drawback if you are labeling this number 1, 2, 3 like that?
Yes.
Both are in same class 1 maybe.
Both are in same class 1.
But
Okay.
it shows the difficulty to find.
So we have to find the L, XL, M in the name of the label.
That is fine, sir. That is fine. Think of a machine learning model. Think of a machine learning perspective. We are going to pass it as a number, right? For example, is any, if you are, for example, I'm going to do 1 to M. Sendil Kumar sir, 2 to Palani Mani sir, 3 to Prakash. Is there any difference? Yes, there is a difference with respect to 1, 2, 3. Because for me, there is no difference between Palani Mani sir and AM Sendil Kumar sir. But if you give a number like this, what machine can understand is, oh, the person with number 1 have a higher, what can we say, some advantages, right? So that to be avoided. You understand what I am trying to say? If you are giving the number like this, some of them may have a disadvantage, some of them may have a disadvantages. That to be eliminated. We will see in the later class how we are going to eliminate that. Right. Next is this can be again back into the same thing. Oh, this can be done inverse size mapping to be done like this to check what are all the items. If you use size mapping dot items, it will do what are all the items which you have given or changed. Then we will bring it back to the previous one. I want to convert inverse mapping. Use the below code set, right? What it will do, it will take the items from the size mapping and it will invert that mapping. So inverse size mapping. So these are all the 5 simple line of code. Instead of there in size mapping, you need to specify what you need to done. So it will convert, right? Right, sir. So can you please bring it back to the same thing? There are a few more examples. Then we will come back to this. Can you please apply those set of codes? You may get it like this: the same output: color, size, price, and class label. Good. Thank you, sir. Very happy. Right now, This we already discussed, right? So unique mapping. What is the purpose of unique? Unique will use us how many number of unique values are there. This is another way to use numpy np.unique, the data frame class label. It will display there are only 2 unique values. If you put it in color, there are 3 unique values. I hope you know what is called unique, right? Keys are unique, so those things to be displayed. Now there is another way to use the index. Use the index numbers to map it out. Can you please check it out? This is another way to create class mapping. I'm going to take an ID as a label in this class label. So what it will do? It will set the class label 0 as a 0, 1 as a 1. You may get an output like this. Class label 1 as a 1, 0 as a 0, 0, like that you may get an output. Right. For similarly we can apply inverse mapping. How can we apply the inverse mapping? You need to set the inverse class mapping, then apply the inverse class mapping into the class label. You will get it back to this. The similar same example which we discussed. Right. Now we have something called label encoder. Please listen, this is very important concept, something called label encoding. Anyone have any idea about label encoding? Can you please explain what is called label encoding? What is called label encoding? Right. So you all know what is called encoding, right? Convert the text or something into some other format. What is called label? In categorical data, for example, assuming the t-shirt, right, converting the label into numerical form. Good, sir. This example is, if you consider a t-shirt size, right, which has a different label, small, large, medium, XL, how we are going to convert into a numeric form. Now there is something called label encoder package. Label encoder package. Can you please run this code? What it will do? We are importing the class which is called label encoder. Then we are creating an object for that label encoder, class underscore label encoder. There is a method called fit transform. Which one we need to fit? We need to fit the class label values and we need to transform it. So that is the reason we are going to use fit underscore transform. What this fit underscore transform will do? These are all the interview question. What is label encoding? What is fit underscore transform? What that fit underscore transform will do? It will fit the entire data into our class specification and transfer the data accordingly. In this case, we use the label encoder. If the same thing we are going to use it in the logistic regression, it may convert accordingly. Right? Once you may get an output like this. You may get an output like this, array 0, 1, 0 instead of, right? So good, sir. Prem Kumar sir, good. So what we have done previously, we are manually assign some class label number and we do it. If we have n number of things which are all there, we can't do it, right? N number of label for our 26 label, then we can't do it. So instead of, we can use label encoder. So now, how can we approach any hackathon which is given in a data set? First thing, you need to read the data set. After reading, you need to type what is described. After describing the data set, you need to find if there is any categorical data. If you find any categorical data, either we need to do label encoding or we need to do one-hot encoding. Now we discussed label encoder. What the label encoder will do, as I discussed earlier, there are 5 people in a class. We should not give number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to a student. What will happen is the machine will understand the student with 5 number which has more preference. Students with number 1 which has least preference. That to be avoided. That is a problem with respect to label encoder. That will be avoided in one-hot encoding. We will see what is one-hot encoding. Right. Similarly, we can do inverse. The simplest way can do it inverse. Right. So class label dot encoder. You can just invoke a method inverse underscore transform. Which data you need to inverse, you can just pass the data into that method inverse transform. right? So there are a number, and now I am going to explain one this value, right? One hot encoder. We'll go to the one hot encoder directly because. So can you please check df_cat? What should be there? Categorical data. It should be in the format. If it is in this level, you just apply. You just apply this get dummies. So whenever if you try to Google any website, any GitHub or Gaggle or Analytics Vidya, you are able to find something called dataframe.get_dummies. What this method will do, whatever the categorical data which is there, can you please look into my screen? You will get an idea what this one hot encoding will do. We have a price, we have a color, we have a size and class label. The price which is already 10.1, 13.5, 15.3, size also we converted as 1, 2, 3. Color and class label are been like this. Color and class label are been like this. Can you please see? Color, size, price, class label to be like this. Assuming that as of now, data frame is in like this kind of a format. Now, if I apply pd.getDummies.of data frame of all the columns I'm passing, price, color, size, class label. So what will happen is I am getting an output like this. I hope you are able to see my screen. Color blue 001, color green 100, color red 010. Or you find the difference what I am trying to say? If you just have a color alone, for example, blue 1, green 2, red 3. You understand what I told the issue with respect to label encoding? If you made a label encoding, it may assign 1, 2, 3 randomly. What may be the problem? The problem is the people with as the number 3 was the highest priority with respect to machine learning model. You look into the class label. What are the two different class labels are there? Class 1, class 1, class 2. If you apply get dummies to the class label, it will create two class label underscore class 1, class label under class 2, 101, 010. You understand what is the difference between label encoding versus one hot encoding. Can someone explain what is the difference between label encoding and one hot encoding? I will give a minute time. Can you please respond? What is the difference between label versus one hot encoding? Now the toughest challenge we are facing for past 4 months, online classes. I hope you understand what I am trying to convey or what I am trying to share. Can you please share your understanding of what is the difference between label versus one hot encoding? Right, I will repeat again. The label encoding, you are just giving a number according to the categorical data. If you just give a number, that may not give a correct accuracy with respect to machine learning model. One hot encoding replace with the same name. No, sir. Okay, understanding may be different. No, it's not a same name, Prem Kumar sir. It's not a same name. I will repeat again the one hot encoding because you are not clear. Some people may not clear, it seems. I hope you are able to see the categorical data frame in my screen. Please look into color, green, red, blue. Similarly, class label, class 1, class 2, class 1. These are all the categorical data. I need to look into that. If I pass the method which is called get_dummies, what will happen is it creates the number of extra column with respect to what are all the unique values. You see, color underscore blue, color underscore green, color underscore red. If what is the first zeroth index color is a green. Zeroth index color is green. That to be mentioned as 1. Similarly, if you look into the second row, the color is red. Color underscore red is being given as a 1. Blue is in the first column to be set it as a 1. Instead of 1 column, we are making into 3 column. Similarly, for the class label, there are class 1, class 2, class 1. Class 1, class 2. First row is class 1, 1, 0. Second row is class 2, 0, 1. Third row is 1, 0. I hope he understood now. It's right. Good. 1 hot encoding. Now that's it. So this is another one. Even if you are given with size, it will create like this. Because we are converting into a number. Instead of number, if you keep it as an object, what it will do? It will convert the data into this kind of a form. Once you have done all this, eliminating classes are defined by the user, have a problem sometimes. So hot encoding it or structures is defined by using numbers. Okay, classes are defined by user, it have a problem at some time. So hot encoding giving it properly super step. Okay, sir. Good, sir. Suresh Kumar, sir. But how this being handled is being given with respect to get dummies, right? Right. So we done with pre-processing. These are all the very basics, not basics. We almost covered everything. What are the everything is how to identify NaN values. Once you identify the NaN values, either you can drop, either you can fill. How can you fill? By using simple imputer. There are different strategies you can apply, either by using a mean, by using a median, we can apply it. Then there is another type of a data set which are called categorical data. In the categorical data, there may be a problem. What may be the problem? That to be kept it as number zeros or 1. How can we make it as a zeros or 1? Either by using label encoding or one hot encoding. So this is what we discussed as of now. If you have any queries, with respect to this session or the previous session, I am repeatedly sharing the Google Drive. Can you please post the question into the Drive? Right now we will move on to another topic, which is called how can we do a plotting. The plotting is very important. The plotting which helps us to do some exploratory data analysis. I am saying we put exploratory data analysis. What is called exploratory data analysis? It's a sequence of steps. Read the data, process the data, display the data, or view the data by using some graph, some plotting technique. We'll see there are two packages which plays a major role, Matplotlib and Seaborn. We'll see how we are going to use these two packages to plot the data. Plotting is very important. Once you have done any paper publication or anything, you try to Colab. I'm going to open that. Right. So even if people join now, don't get worried. Those who are joined already, please open a new notebook. Please open a new notebook in Colab. We'll do some plotting, then we will move on to some other concepts, right? So I used to repeat the things. What are the things which we already studied? I don't want a final time. Pandas. I am giving a time. Please open a new notebook in Colab and read, write, access. So then we discussed how to handle mixing values. How to handle mixing values. Third, one part. Now Now we are going to see plotting. How we are going to use plotting. Right. I hope you all opened a new Colab, new notebook. Right. So can you please import these packages? Please follow the steps clearly. You may understand so many graph plotting which may useful for your paper publication or any machine learning. Right. When you looked into Gaggle.com or analyticsvidya.com, there are n number of competitions which are running. In that, first thing they all put data pre-processing, then followed by some visualization, then machine learning model. That is how I also planned. First we done with some pre-processing. Now we are going to do some plotting. Right. So can you please we created a list called years and population. Right. We are using plot.plt is an object for matplotlib by plot. Right. We are passing two arguments, years and population. I hope you may get an output as a line diagram with the curve. Are you getting a curve or not? Yes. Okay. Prem Kumar sir and Sendil Kumar sir. Good sir. Selva Kumar, Suresh Kumar Selvaraj. Good. Right. So we'll explore all the plotting before lunch. After lunch, we are going to take one data set. We'll see how we are going to apply some machine learning model. Okay. 2 minutes. Right. Now what I have done it is, can you please run this code and get a feel of it? What are things I made it as? This is very important, very useful when you are doing any paper. The plotting by using a Python will do lot. All the machine learning model, all the research which ends with the graph. So please listen or do the carefully. If you have any doubt in the plotting, you can just type it in, put it in the Google Drive. I already shared. I will address later. Now you are able to get the labels, title for the plots as well as color also. Right. So you may get the different plot with different values with title, x-axis and y-axis. Normally we used to ask the student, hey, why you forgot to give x-axis, y-axis unit, so and so. I hope you all will do when we are doing a project review, right? So this will helps us to add what it will do. It adds the label and all, right? So can you please see there is another type of a graph with legends. Now we added some legends, right? Plot.legend. The legend will be displayed according to the label which we are given in the plot. Please copy paste the each code in each cell in IPython notebook which we are using in Colab. Now you are able to see the first line, second line with the legends. First line or legend. I am repeatedly asking one common question. Are you following or not? Yes, Suresh Kumar sir. Thank you. 2, 3. Right. We'll explore all the charts, right? Next, sir, I don't want to the line to be in a different format. Can you please look into this? Copy paste, you will understand. You can compare the previous plot with respect to this plot. You understand what may be the difference. Can you please copy paste your graph into the chat box? Is it possible?
not possible, sir.
Okay, not okay. Fine. Once you get experience, then no problem. So you may get the line to be either in a dot or star like this. All right. There is another kind of a plot. There is another kind of a plot. Another kind of a plot which we are giving a marker by setting a property for the lines which contain some marker. One with all the markers set up. If you have any doubt in this, you can just click that link. That will help you to look into that. So what we have discussed as of now is line chart. This may be very useful when you go for a linear regression. We'll see in the afternoon class what is called linear regression. When you go for a linear or any kind of a regression method, this chart has been very useful. Right. Yes. Now we will move on to the another type of a chart. Yes, sir. Comparison chart. Right. There are so many places we can use it. Right. Now we have another chart, which is called pie chart. We are all familiar in this kind of a charting. But only thing is, please keep all these notebooks. These are all the very basics. If you have, definitely you can survive in machine learning and data analysis. These are all the basics which are required for any data pre-processing and plotting. I hope you make it a pie chart. All right. Change the parameters, you will get a feel how it looks. If you change the parameter, you may know how that frame looks. I will give another minute time. You just edit and change the parameters. This is another example. With respect to data frame. This also help you to do. Can you please create a raw underscore data as a data frame? Please create raw underscore data as a data frame by passing names, January, February, March, IR, some values, leave that values, the IRs. Once you created the data frame, I am going to add a new column which is called total IR. This is for your data frame understanding. You can take individual columns. If the individual columns are numeric, you can add it to plus. If you just df of total IR, now the new column is being added. Now the new column is being added. Now the new column is being added. Now you can just check it out. The percentile of the pie chart. Now you can check it out how much percentage it's been given into each of the row. Each of the row. Now is it done? Whether you people got pie chart? Whether you people got a pie chart? Yes. Thank you. Next very important chart, which definitely we will find 1 out of 1 paper in all the research. It's called the bar chart. So instead of passing the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, you can use data frame of that value. We'll see when we are constructing one machine learning model how to pass the data into the chart. So this will help you the bar chart with the legend. Got it? Bar chart with legend. Yes. Right. So I will hold on for a few minutes. Right. Can you please, you all have an internet, you all have an all access. Can you please find the difference between standardization and normalization? 5 minutes. I will give a 2 minutes time. I am expecting someone to explain what is called standardization, what is called normalization. Can you please just Google it? I am asking you guys, self-learning will see, just see what is called normalization, what is called standardization. Python is not required. This you may came across in your mathematics. Already you people are being well versed in machine learning or data science. Can you please tell what is called standardization, what is called normalization? Any floor is open to anyone. Can you please answer? Okay. Swati, Shrish and Ramya, can you please explain with one example? Normalization is fine, making a values between 0 to 1. Good. Can you please give one example of standardization? Can you please give one example of? Answer is fine, right? What is mean? What is standard deviation? I think that you guys are already familiar. Mean is an average. Standard deviation is x minus x bar divided by the total number of n to be done. Can you please tell?
I think they are talking about the normal distribution where which z is equal to x minus mu by sigma.
Same thing, sir. Same thing, sir. X minus mu by sigma. Same thing only I am asking. That is what the data. If you draw a bell curve, yes, sir. Whatever you are saying is correct. The Z-score normalization only asking. Eliminate the repetition of data is normalization. Okay. Normalization is when we all professor, when you are making any relative grading, we used to go for a bell curve. You all know what is called bell curve. Its top is in 0, from between sigma, 1 sigma, 2 sigma, minus sigma, minus 2 sigma, minus 3 sigma. 95.9% data to be there in 0 to plus sigma to minus sigma. That we can call it as normalization. What is called standardization? You need to do all this before you are feed the data into a machine learning model, or else it may be either a skewed data, or else it may not give a proper accuracy. Standardization, I will give you one simple example. Okay, local optimization. Good, sir. Normalization is between continuous values between 0 and 1. Normalization is always a local optimization. Okay. Right. So normalization is correct, sir. Standardized means there are set of rules. You have to follow the standard rules. Okay. Right. So what is the standard scalar or standardization is? For example, consider two columns. One column is for age, another one column is for salary. Right? Age may be ranges from 0 to 100. Assuming that age may be ranges from 0 to 100. What about salary? Assuming that it may ranges from 30k to 1 lakh. So 0 to 100 is one column. Another column is 30,000 to 1 lakh. There may be a huge deviation between the numbers. So what you need to do is we need to standardize. What the standardize will do, it will convert the which one you want to standardize. It may convert all the numbers between either 0 to 100 or 0 to 1. All the data to be converted between 0 to 1 to make sure that it doesn't have any impact Yes, sir. Same stand. Whatever you are putting is absolutely right with respect to the probability and statistics only. I am talking standardization and normalization. All right. Question is, we have to change it accordingly to make sure that I have a code snippet. I can show to you what will happen. I have a code snippet. Don't get worried. If you run the code, you will understand with plotting how it is getting changed. Next is scatter plot. Can you please? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So can you please draw the scatter plot? Done. This is for scatter plot. Done. Next one is good. Thank you for your proper response. The next one is stack plot. Right. So it's very simple. You just understand. Now I'm going to help you people. Can you please go into analyticsvidya.com? How many people have an account? If you don't have an account, please create an account. Can you please create an account? Right. Right. Once what is the reason I am telling is created, sir. Good, sir. So what is the reason I am telling is, one second. You may find n number of problems, right? I hope my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible. Yes. If you go to this, you will see n number of hackathons, cross-sell prediction. You see there are 20,000 people registered and they are doing. You see there are so many hackathons which are all there. You can do it either starts with practice problem. All the practice problem you will start with, you may get a solution in the internet. You just try to Google it. You will get an idea how to proceed or how to approach this. Or else some of the people pointed out in the morning session itself, Gaggle. I hope you all have an account in Gaggle. Right. So if you not, can you please just sign in with Google? There you can see n number of examples. For example, data pre-processing. Data pre-processing. You see NLP. Somebody asked about NLP. Somebody asked about data pre-processing. You see, this is one example. This is one example where you can refer so many data set with an exploratory data analysis. right? There are few plots. One is called box plot, box plot, box plot, and other probability plots will be explained by tomorrow. Don't get worried. I kept as hold because ma'am wants to take those things, box plot, because that is closely associated with her topic, box plot and other probability histogram. During the time, you can understand how these plots can be used. The screen is shared only, right? Box plot and histogram will be handled tomorrow. Don't get worried. So now, Chuma, for our, I'm just giving one link. I'm just giving one link. Can you please check the link? What they have done in the first few steps. So what you have done, what they have done in the first few steps. Can you please check it out? You may understand what are the things which we are trying to do. They do it. Can you please? My screen is visible. Can you please explain? My screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, yes sir, visible, sir.
You are able to see the Gaggle page, right?
Yeah, sir, yes. Step by step data processing.
Step. You see, whatever we have done, almost it's been covered. Maybe one or two graph they may use differently. So what is my kind request is, can you please register any hackathon which is coming in Analytics Vidya, or else you can just Google it. You may gain the solution. First few steps, what are the things which we have done, they try it out. Don't get worried with the model. You see, there are n number of plots with respect to different rows and different columns. Then we have to make some assumptions and here and there, then we need to do it, right? So I hope we done with basics of plots. Now there is something called subplots. So what is my kind request is, if you are master in these two links, definitely you may not require this kind of our job. We may go into some we may be an expert. Please ask the students also, keep on practicing. No need to worry about. You can encourage them, copy paste the code and run it, get a feel of it, how it gets. Then they will get automatically motivated to work it on those things. These two links, Gaggle and Analytics Vidya, followed by Medium. Medium.com, which has lot of, I hope you guys may know, but just share it to the students. Medium.com, which has lot of resources associated with this. Now, can you please run this plot? We'll see an example. What is an output we are getting? I shared a few code snippets. What this one will do, this will split the entire plot into 4 subplots, 2 cross 2. Out of 2 cross 2, which means 4 different cells. In the 4 different cells, we are trying to create a graph. I hope you may get an output like this. Are you able to get the subplots? Yes, good sir. Good. So this you may saw a lot of subplots in any paper. If you download any IEEE or any impact factor journal or any paper, you may see this kind of subplots, right? So this another thing is, now can you please run this step by step? You will understand how they split the plot areas. If you just run it, you may see some set of output. If you run this, you see how they split it into the plots, right? They use the slice we discussed in the morning also. How it is being given is, for example, log and ilog. LOC we can give only string literals, but ilog you can give some integers. The integers to be sliced to be in the form of list, 1 to 2 or 3 to 5, like that. If you do, then it will automatically take the data, right? So you may get a graph like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We plotted 5 different plots in a single plot. You can just copy, save as source. Right. So what are the different charts we discussed is line, bar chart, eye chart, stacked bar, stacked line bar by stacked bar, and so these are all the things which we discussed as of now. Now, so what I am trying to do it is, can you please move on to the next one? Share the slides. I said there is no slide, but I have a slide. I don't know how to, so I need to put it in the Google chat, right? Drive. Slides. Once again, I'm just trying to share this into your chat. Hello?
If possible, you can share the
Links.
Python notebook, sir.
Sir, notebook, everything I will do, sir. I am just doing everything I will do. By the time I misplaced it. Once again, sir, I am just misplaced it. I can share the notebooks. Hold on for a minute. Share. We had discussed with 3 notebooks. I am going to share those 3 notebooks. Which is first one. What about the session file? Open a notebook. Pandas introduction. Please download or copy paste this in local drive. Don't try to edit in that. Copy the link. This is the another link. Third one is, this is the first one, right? Data pre-processing. Right. These are all the 3 notebooks which we discussed. Please don't try to edit anything. You can just download as IPython notebook and keep it with you. Right. Now assume that data has been ready. We did some exploratory data analysis by using a plot. Then we need to apply a model, right? So there are different types of models, right? I think Sar may give an introduction about there are 2 different types of machine learning, right? What are the 2 different types of machine learning? Or else I will put it in other way. The steps which are involved in machine learning is first data collection, data pre-processing, modeling, data modeling, and the performance analysis and the conclusion. This is how the normally things will go. Now my question is, we have collected the data. We are assuming that we done some data pre-processing. Now we need to apply into the model. What are the different types of machine learning models which are there? hope you attended yesterday's session. Can you please give an insight? Then we will slowly move into the linear regression. Okay, supervised, good. Supervised and unsupervised learning. Sir, Srinivasa sir, can you please explain what is called supervised and what is called unsupervised learning? Sorry for asking a question. To make the session to be interactive, I am just asking. Reinforcement modeling or learning. Okay. Someone classification. Okay. Srinivasa sir, can you please give the difference between supervised and then unsupervised?
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am, please.
Sir, to my knowledge, supervised learning is where we have the labels already given and we can go for classifying the data based on the labels.
Good, ma'am. What is your name, ma'am? Please, your good name.
Sir, I am Satya Devi, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Any other answer? Then unsupervised, ma'am.
Unsupervised, where we don't have the labels, where we need to look for continuous data, which has to be okay. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to.
Correct, ma'am. Right. Which has to be understood by the machine. That's it, ma'am. Which has to be understood by the machine.
So
Right.
we have continuous data. We would go for regression that can be categorized under unsupervised learning.
Okay. Srinivasa sir, can you please mute yourself or else can you please talk? Can you please mute, sir? It is disturbing, please.
Sir, sorry, sir. It is me only, sir. I have.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Fine. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Now, as ma'am said, there are two things. One is supervised and then another one is unsupervised. Before that, you need to understand the terms which is called features. First question, what we will ask when the student present any machine learning model or anything, we used to ask where you get the data set. People used to say, sir, I got it from UCI, I got it from Google, I got it from Amazon. There is some source from GitHub. After that, we may ask, right? What we may ask, whether you got a data set, right? After that, we may ask what kind of an algorithm we are going to use, right? What are the features? Next question, you may ask, how many features in your data set? Right? Student may say 10 or 20 like that, according to the data set. Out of the 10 or 20 features, as ma'am said, one of the features may be called label. For example, we can consider our entire data set. After having our name, roll number, everything, they may put either 0 or 1, or it's not, some values are there. If it is a 0, we can call it as a male. If it is a 1, we can call it as a female, right? What the machine will do, for the given existing data, it tries to understand the pattern. Then if you feed a new data without label, what it will do, it will do what is the label it should be. This is called supervised learning. As ma'am said, good, Suresh sir put perfectly. There is labeled data and then unlabeled data. Unlabeled data, there is no target variable. If it is a labeled data, the one particular column, we can call it as a target. As per our example, I said it is whether he is a male or female. Male is a 0, female is a 1, or vice versa. By analyzing the features, we are able to understand the particular row which may belongs to male or female. For this, we require some person. It's like a person, the teacher will teach us the student. Normally, this example they used to tell, teacher used to teach the student, we can call it as a supervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a kid. So when if you don't know swimming, if they put it in any well or any river, then they may practice, then they may come back. It's called unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, I will give one simple example. What is unsupervised learning is, you have a data set. For example, we are all data set. There is no target variable or there is no outcome variable. Then the computer will do some kind of a model then it will go, okay, Prakash and Prakash M. Reddy, Suresh all become a male. Ramya Devi ma'am and other people, they all become a female. With their features, by it learns by itself, it will give an output. Right? This is called unsupervised learning. Then there are some machine learning model. We can call it as regression, decision trees, classification, clustering, dolls. Right? So what is called clustering? Grouping a data into different classes. Right? Cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4. All clusters have some classification. Class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. The another model we can call it as regression. What is called regression? Classification and regression. Regression is the series of data which happened after some time. What is going to be happened? Right? It may be a time series data or it may be a non-time series data. Then some of the people mentioned as reinforcement learning. We are not doing anything. It's like a robot which learns by himself. It is also comes under unsupervised learning. It doesn't have any target. It's have a forward or feedback to the previous state and the present state. Taken a feedback, then it tries to alter or it tries to tune accordingly. It will generate a machine or a model. That is called reinforcement learning. So mainly that robot, right? Without anything, they just put a robot into the cell. It will keep on learn and it will come back, right? So in which the first and foremost model is called linear regression, right? What that linear regression is, which uses a straight line equation. When I was studying in my school days, I never thought of max is going to be used this much in computer science field. Now everyone realized the max will play a vital role in the computer science field. You can think of how this particular straight line equation will play a major role in most of the machine learning model. Right? We'll see how to create a straight line. We all know what is the straight line equation, y equal to mx plus c. Right? So by using that straight line equation, we are going to do some kind of a manipulation or some kind of a model which will try to predict. Either it will predict or it will give a result. For example, one simple example they used to take the housing prices. The housing prices in the year 1990s, how it looks. If it is keep on going in 2020, what should be the price range? By using this model, we are trying to predict what will happen in 2030 or 2040. As of now, we can't predict due to the COVID and Corona, right? So it's unpredictable, but still the machine learning model tried to apply it. Different way I understood without seeing an attribute. Yes, sir. Without seeing, it's called unsupervised learning, right? Without perfect, sir. Without seeing. Different way I understood without seeing an attributes, directly looking into the values, right? So what sir is saying, don't look into the first row as a column name, for example, age, number and all. You just look into the values which are there in each attribute and supervise. Good, sir. Good. The next one is supervised. This reverse. We need labels and values. Right now the thing is, how this linear regression is going to be used. Once again, I'm going to share this screen in Max Scaler. Are you able to my screen? Hello? Are you able to see my screen? In the PPT?
Yes, sir.
PPT is visible?
Yes, sir. Min-max scalar.
Okay, min-max scalar, right? I said that one is called standardization, another one is called normalization. Now, can you please see, this is one kind of a normalization. What we are trying to do is, we have an age and height. There are in two different values. Age is ranges from 27 to 44. Height is ranges from 60 to 70. Instead of we need to make it between 0 to 1, we need to apply then this value, x minus minimum of x divided by maximum of x minus minimum of x. What it will do? It will normalize the data between 0 to 1. This is one kind of a normalization by using min-max scalar. So when you have a data set with two columns, as I said, age and salary. Definitely age is different, salary is different, two different rates. We need to bring it into the range between 0 to 1. Then apply the min-max scalar. There is another example. This is the code. I can share this PPT. You can just try to explore all this. The next one is standardization by using a Z-score. The Z-score is being used to standardize this bell curve, mu equal to 0, sigma equal to 1. If you apply this, this also comes in the bell curve. So whenever if it is in a bell curve, this plot will be explained by tomorrow. Don't get worried. If you get a curve like this for all the columns, which means your data is normally distributed. If it is normally distributed, you need to do something, right? This is the one-hot encoding. All this. So whatever the programming concept which I discussed, which is in the form of PPT, once again I put this PPT into Google Drive. Then I will open the linear regression. Google Drive, new file upload. Know your data set, rescaling. I am going to just download and read it later. If you have any doubt in this slide also, please come back. Please don't edit anything. You can just download in your local set. Right. So can you please go to the drive and find it out? I hope you are able to access the PPT, which has with an example of all kind of a data, rescaling, mean, median, mode, right? How this bell curve, this person. But don't get worried. Some of the, as I said, some of the plot, which is called very important two plots, box plot and other probability plots, will be explained by tomorrow. Once you've done the tomorrow session, you just read it, you may understand things become more clearly. Right now the linear regression I'm just showing. Saravanan sir, can we start after the lunch?
Sir, okay, sir.
No problem, right? We'll start by 2 o'clock, 2 to 3:30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is this fine? Because I feel a bit tired. I'm not.
Okay.
That's why
Okay,
I
sir.
get slow down. So I need to get refreshed. We'll start the session exactly by 2. From 2 to 2:45. 2 to 2:45, I will explain linear regression, followed by logistic regression with code snippet. I have 2 notebooks. Once we done the 2 notebooks, we wind up the today's session. Right? Tomorrow also you may find the same kind of coding explanation. So please don't miss the remaining few sessions. Right? Thank you, Saravanan sir. We'll meet after the lunch.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I will put the attendance for forenoon session, sir. Participants kindly put the attendance for forenoon session today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Can we relate the weight function in ANN, artificial neural network, with normal stochastic gradient descent? Yes, sir. I have all the materials and everything. I can just share it, Suresh Kumar sir. You may look into that. You will get an idea. So you no need to worry about that.